So on today's episode of I've Lost My Mind, we've got a Jeep right there. It's got 200,000 miles on it, a locked up motor, and a Jeep right there that's wrecked and it's got 80,000 miles on the drivetrain. And we're going to try and swap these out in just a couple days and have this thing running and driving by Mother's Day, and today is Thursday. So we'll see how good we are. So, if you've watched the channel for a little while, you know that I fixed the trailer, we went and got this Jeep, and I told everybody why. And if you're just new to the channel, then you've never seen that Jeep before, you don't know anything about this Jeep, so I'll explain. I've had that Jeep for a while. That's got a Ford Explorer rear end in it, an SYE kit, and radial long arms, and we used to wheel that thing off-road a little bit. More recently, it's become my wife's daily driver because she loves that thing for some reason unknown to me. And I've even talked about selling it in the past, and her and my boy, neither one will hear of it. So here we are, we still own a gold Jeep. The problem is the other day on her way to work, the engine locked up. Yeah, and a 3-foot breaker bar won't turn it over. So I don't know what kind of damage is done in there, but we'll find out later. Problem is she wants it back, and we're going to fix it. So I bought this Jeep, and it's got an 80,000 mile drive line in it. It's wrecked. It's been sitting for 12 years, but the drive line's got 80,000 miles. So we're going to take engine transmission out of this Jeep and put it in that Jeep, and we're going to try and have it running here in about 3 days. So first thing we're going to do is work on this one. So I guess here we go. So while we was out there, we took the hood off of it, the AC compressor, and a few other things. So now I'm going to spend some time from the top of the Jeep getting some stuff loose, which is going to be boring. You guys don't want to see that. And then we're going to lift the Jeep up and get stuff from the underneath side to separate the motor and transmission. I want both of them out of this Jeep, but we can't take both of them out of my Jeep at the same time. So we're going to separate both drivetrains and put them in piece by piece. So transmission out the bottom, engine out the front of this one. And this is going to be a lot easier because I got no radiator, no AC condenser, all that stuff's gone. This will be more difficult on ours. So I'm going to get started getting some stuff loose. Well, Dad's taking a jack to the front of the frame. Let me show you where we're at. So we've took the air conditioning compressor. A lot of the wiring harness is loose, with the exception of the bottom of the alternator there. All those connectors are loose. We took the ground strap off back there. We've got our electrical wiring here that goes on the valve cover. I've got a chain with a big loop in it for pulling the engine there, and it's hooked to the studs that are on top of the motor. There's one in the very back that was a ground stud. Over here, took the power steering pump and all that stuff off, got the fuel rail off of it. We've got the nuts are still on the bolt, but these are your engine mounts, and we've got them bolts loose to where you should be able to just run those out whenever we're ready. So now we've got pretty well everything on top apart as much as we want it to be. So now I'm going to go underneath and start taking stuff apart. And we've got exhaust to take apart, we've got the transmission to take loose from the motor, and yeah, a lot of good stuff. So I'm going to get underneath here and give you a shot there. It is a shame because the body is in excellent shape, but we're going to start taking some stuff off underneath here, starting right in there. you know, dirt falling in your hair and getting stuff on the ground on your, you know, pulling motor transmission type stuff. But I think everything's loose as far as things that are, I mean, there's still wires that are connected, but I think they're all on the motor. We're going to find out in a second because I actually dropped the transmission down, pulled the cross member off of this one. Now, I didn't think we was going to do it that way, but we decided on this one it's going to be easier to separate them out here. This one I don't have my AC condenser and stuff on the way. We will not be able to do this with the Gold Jeep, but this one is just too easy to be able to lift up on it. We'll have to worry about these lines and stuff where they're mounted at. Make sure they're not going to catch on anything, but we're going to real easily jerk it up out of there and yeah, try and do something. So I guess here we go. Okay, I guess let it down.
Now what we're going with?
Probably right here. Well, the Gold Jeep's in here. We've been moving everything around with the tractor, and this is one of those things that this Jeep does need a whole lot of love. It's been mistreated for a while. If it's something you guys would like to see more of, comment below. But there is the motor transmission transfer case out of the green Jeep. So not sure how well we're going to do all the rest of this, but there are a few differences that I note. We all know that the head's different because of that having a distributor and the other being a coil pack, and the exhaust is different because this looks more like an exhaust manifold, like a header. It's not a header, but it looks more like a header than what I've got on mine. And I don't know if I can see it right now with the camera. We'll try and look down in there, but yeah, you really can't. But there's catalytic converters in mine, so I'm not sure which way I'm going to go about this. There is, I was able to take it all apart without cutting anything, but this is the whole tail section of the stock exhaust out of that other Jeep. And there's the converter for it and the other oxygen sensor. So we might very well use this setup and do away with my setup, because I'm thinking that right there probably breathes a lot better than what's on mine, potentially. You know, poor little 4.0s need all the horsepower they can get. My only problem is, where's it at? It's over here. This right here is your downpipe, and this right here has got quite a place in it, where I don't know what that's for now that I'm looking at it. I have to look up in there, but I'm pretty sure where I've raised all my suspension up, and I think that was maybe for an upper control arm or something, that can be swelled out, because that's a bad choke down on the exhaust right there. So now we'll probably go ahead and just take the hood off this, because, well, that's the easiest route. I don't know, we can kind of lift the strap in the air. We're gonna have to decide where to start. I know this right here's got to come out, the radiator's gonna have to come out, all this is gonna have to, I'm gonna try not to take the AC condenser out, and we're gonna try to take the pump loose and just lay the pump over the side if we can get it out without doing that. I don't know how it's gonna go. I'll probably, just to protect it, go ahead and take this header panel out right here in the front, just because I don't want to take a chance on busting it, because it's just plastic. But now we get to start taking stuff apart. So this is as far as we've got on day one. Motor and transmission's back here on the floor out of the green Jeep. We've got a lot of small stuff on this one, taking apart the header panel off on it, get radiator out of it. Battery, power steering pumps laid over. I mean, we're just kind of going through getting stuff prepared. We're going to try to remove this motor without removing this. It's got some flex in the line, so we might be able to get it out of the way, but I really don't want to separate my cooling system because it works right now. But if worse comes to worse, we might have to take it off. I mean, we got some ideas. So aside from that, end of day one, I'll be back in the morning. Tomorrow will be a bit longer day, and we'll see how far we can get done tomorrow. Well, it's day two. We've already started this morning a little bit, just trying to get warmed up and awake and drink coffee. The engine bolts are loose as far as the mount bolts. Chains on this motor right here. Some of the electrical, the fuel line, that kind of stuff's all unhooked now. The power steering pump we've got loose, and we're laying it over to the side here because we're not breaking that system. Same thing with the AC compressor on the other side. We've got it broke loose, we've laid it over. We're going to try and lift over top of this coil here. I really don't want to break the AC system because, believe it or not, the AC works in this Jeep. Or at least it did. So now we're kind of to the point that we've got enough stuff loose up here. I'm going to go underneath and take the drive shafts and the transfer case loose because I want to keep my transfer case in this Jeep. So it's got an SYE and I've got a custom Adams drive shaft on the back of it. So we're using my SYE kit, and my transfer case is good for now. I'm going to keep the other one for a spare since it's got less miles on it. So we'll see what happens. So now, under the Jeep. If I look a little defeated right now, there's a reason for that. So let me show you what is going on. So over here, we have two drive shafts. The one that's got the oil on it came out of this Jeep. That one right there, that one is seized, like the slip is seized. So I'm having a hard time getting it out of there because, well, the slip's seized. So we're going to have to move everything there forward, I think. There's a couple different things we're going to try and do. I don't know. Dad made a couple pieces of pipe right there. We might try and slip that off there and put some PB blaster down in there that, if you look, don't put a finger, there's a little like collar right there on the slip. That right there might be able to pop off so we can spray some PB blaster or something in it. But so yeah, the drive shafts are kicking behind them, but the front one's out now. So that, and I got the big, there's an armored plate sitting around here somewhere. But oh, right here. That right there is to protect the transfer case for off-road. So I've got that off now. So while I've been underneath there playing, not doing anything apparently, Dad's got everything just about. He's been making sure that we've got everything done, kind of double checking everything up here to make sure this is ready to pull. We might have to go ahead and pull the engine mounts and stuff here in a little bit, but I'm gonna go ahead and unbolt the transfer case. It's just this. You wouldn't think that this Jeep would be harder to pull apart than the one that's set for 12 years, but it's looking that way. So I'll give you guys an update here in a little bit. Guys, this is one of those deals that I filmed a lot of stuff on the Jeep, and I don't know how many different videos I'm going to make out of it, because I don't know if I want it to be a big 2-hour long video. I'm not Derek, so people probably won't watch my long videos. That being said, if I choose to use this clip, that means that I'm separating the videos out, because I filmed this afterwards because it was hard for me to keep up with where I was, what was going on. So I appreciate you watching this one. The next one's coming. I may try and get the Jeep ones closer together than releasing them once every other week, but we'll see you guys on the next one. And in this particular case scenario, it's going to be another Jeep video finishing it up. So thanks for watching. See you later.